Welcome to Rich on the Road Across America.
1, 2, 3, 4, and let's go. Today's video is going to be a little bit different. Instead of taking the motorcycle and going to a distant location and seeing sights, we've just gone to the southern tip of Nashville to Percy Priest Lake. I'm taking a little day off and kayaking, enjoying the weather. Beautiful weather today, beautiful lake. I'm calling this the therapy sessions. I'm going to answer a bunch of questions that I get quite often and kind of talk about the trip a little bit. I haven't talked about that in much detail. State some concerns, worries, excitements, all those type of things that I go through in my head at night when I'm laying in bed, and the things that people often ask me. So what states am I going to be hitting on this trip? Let me see if I can name them all. 16 in total: Tennessee, Arkansas, Oklahoma, Texas, New Mexico, Arizona, Nevada, California, Oregon, Idaho, Utah, Colorado, Kansas, Illinois, Kentucky, and back to Tennessee. I think that's everything. No offense to the eastern half of the United States, but I've done that before, so I'm really excited about the western side. The first major destination on my list is the southern rim of the Grand Canyon in Arizona, so that's where I want to get to first. Second destination is Las Vegas, Nevada for Evel Knievel Pie. It's a pizza place in Las Vegas that's got an Evel Knievel theme. You're going to find out that I'm a huge Evel Knievel fan, and we're going to be talking a lot about that during the trip. Then third is hitting the Pacific coast in Huntington Beach, California, which is in Los Angeles in the very southern part of California, and stay on that shoreline for as long as we can for the entire height of California. We're going to go from Los Angeles up to Crescent City, California, which is one of the northernmost cities in California. Then we're going to clip the corner of Oregon. Our goal is to get to Twin Falls, Idaho, which is where Evel Knievel jumped the Snake River Canyon. It's been a big destination on my list for a long time. I can't wait to get there. Then we're going to turn south and head towards Salt Lake City, Utah. In Utah, I've been told, is just another world, and we're going to see everything that we can see while we're on the roads there. I'm told it's like you stepped on another planet, that everywhere you look is just beautiful vistas everywhere. I'm super psyched about that one. Don't know if we're going to be able to get to the major arches because they're all booked up way in advance, but we're going to definitely hit some sights. Then we're going to hit Colorado and hit some elevations, see some beautiful sights in Colorado. I've never seen that before either. And then we hit back onto the eastern half of the United States and we're heading home. We're hoping to complete all this in 30 days. Or better yet, I have to complete all this in 30 days. On the map, just taking a route straight through and hitting these towns and back is about 8,500 miles. With excursions, finding campgrounds, getting lost, everything else that might happen, I'm thinking we're going to probably hit close to 10,000 miles on this trip. Again, many people have done this before. I just haven't done this before. And I'm not looking for any iron butts. There's no way I'm going to do 1,000 miles in 24 hours, but I am going to often do as much as I can. That may be 200 miles and it may be 500 miles, but we'll see what happens. The reason we've been going to waterfalls lately is there's a lot in Middle Tennessee and they're really pretty, and I just want to take you guys along. But I'm using up all my PTO time in September. I'm doing 4 weeks off, a full month off from work, and that uses up all my vacation time. So I'm having to just go out on weekend excursions, one-night excursions. So that's why I've been doing little quickies. About 3 weeks ago, we sold Rose's Shadow. I'm really bummed that she's not going, but I knew from the beginning there was a strong chance that she wouldn't be going, and I honor that and respect that totally. I'd rather her not go than to go and be miserable the entire time. And not to put any pressure on her or to put any guilt on her, I think in the end, she's gonna regret not having done it. But I understand totally her decision, and I was gonna go before she even thought about going, so I'm still going without her, and it's gonna be fun. The number one question I get is, aren't you scared to go camping by yourself all the time? I said, not really. The campgrounds I hit, the majority of the campers are families. The others are out there just to get away from it all and to enjoy nature. And it's not that they're not friendly, they're friendly, but they're there to enjoy themselves and to not really bother anybody else. I haven't had a really scary situation. I've had some loud campers next to me. I've had some drugs and alcohol and all that type of stuff, but they really keep to themselves, so it hasn't been a problem. One of my biggest concerns is campsite availability. I'm doing this by the seat of my pants. I'm not making reservations. I don't know when I'm gonna be where. I'm heading west and letting the days take me where they take me. Because of that, I can't make these reservations 2 or 3 days ahead of time. And even if I wanted to, right now, all the national parks and most of the state parks are booked up 6 months to a year ahead of time. Because of that, a lot of the ancillary, satellite, small campgrounds are full too. So it's the big unknown. I don't know where I'm gonna sleep every night. I don't know where I'm gonna be every night. But it's also kind of the adventure, kind of the fun of the trip too, is just to say, let's take what comes and deal with it and try to move on. Another question I get is when you're solo motoing and solo camping, don't you get lonely? Well, that's part of the adventure is I'm going out across country. I'm gonna get to meet different people, different times, different places. That's part of the adventure. I think that's gonna be fun too. So I'll be gone for a month. Do I wanna take a bath in the lake every day for a month? Heck no. Do I wanna take a shower in some not too great park or campsite restrooms that have the button you push and the water runs for 15 seconds, or cold water, or just dirty showers? No, I don't want to do that either. So what's my plan for showers? I've got a Planet Fitness, and I can't remember what it's called, Planet Fitness Black membership, Black Card membership, something like that. And it gives you access to their showers. And Planet Fitness is pretty much in every city across the country going out west where I'm going. I've mapped them all out. There'll be a couple of days where I might not get access to a shower, so maybe I can use a campground shower for that, or just go without one. But having them all mapped out, I think I'm gonna be in pretty good shape for showers all the way around the month-long trip. As far as food is concerned, I'm staying on some major routes. It's not gonna be hard to get food. I don't eat a lot. I really don't eat a lot. I like to eat breakfast. That's my main meal of the day. It's also when I'm most stationary. You wake up in the morning, your campsite's there, it's ready. You can sit there and make a breakfast and fill up, and then hop on the bike and take off. Now you're mobile, and it's kind of harder to stop and make a meal. I'm moving every day. That's the plan, is to hit a place, spend the night, and move on. There may be a couple like Grand Canyon, Twin Falls, somewhere in California that I might stay a day or two. That'd be a different story, but I'm still near major thoroughfares, so getting food's not gonna be hard. That kind of leads into the next question. How much is this gonna cost? I gotta figure out some way to hide this video from my wife. I don't really know what it's gonna cost, and it's already cost a lot. Just getting everything together, getting everything ready, supplies. The reason I'm camping is because I can't afford hotel rooms for 30 days. That's an expensive trip. So that's gonna cut a lot into it. I'm eating food from grocery stores in a cooler. I'm buying them daily or every other day. You know, a pack of turkey and some tortillas and some cheese will last me 2 or 3 days. I'm not gonna be eating at restaurants. There'll be a time or two. Definitely will stop and eat at a restaurant, but that's gonna keep my expenses down. The main goal of this trip is to see the country, to see this land, to see what it has to offer. I'm excited about that. And as far as camping expenses, I'm looking for the most inexpensive campgrounds that I can find because I'm only there for a few hours to sleep and I'm gone. Out west, there's a whole lot of Bureau of Land Management land, BLM land. It's government land, and camping is free on most of that land. You have certain criteria you gotta meet, a certain distance off the road, things like that. But it's free, so there's a large swath of land all out west for that. So I'll be using that as much as I can. The only drawback to that is I'm on a street highway cruiser, and some of those are some rough roads, some rough terrains. They have some washed out dirt roads or some really rough gravel roads, things like that. So it might not be as easy to get to on my bike as it would an adventure bike. But even so, I've seen people do a lot of it on cruiser bikes, so I'll be able to do that too. But my other concern is Lucille, my motorcycle. She's got 25,000 miles in her right now. She'll have more through the summer before we leave for the trip. And she's also 20 years old. Now I've taken immaculate care of her. I've done an overabundance of maintenance on her. I changed the oil filter, all that type of stuff. every 2,000 miles, maybe 3, but usually 2,000 miles. Every year she gets a full tune-up. And if you watched the videos earlier, you know this year she got a major overhaul just in preparation for this trip. But I'm still concerned. She's got miles on her, she's got years on her, so do I. And I'm hoping we can make it through the whole month without anything major going on. Without anything going on, but anything major especially. She is a big Honda Cruiser, 20 years old. Parts aren't that available. So if I do break down and find a Honda dealership nearby, chances are they're not gonna have parts readily available or available at all. The other unexpected is weather. No motorcyclist likes to ride in the rain. I don't care what they say, tons of experience, they still don't like it. I had a crotch rocket when I was younger. Regardless of the weather, I rode that bike to work every single day. So I've got experience in the weather, I just don't like it. And we know in a month-long trip, going all the way across the country, up north and looping back down to Nashville, I'm gonna hit some unexpected weather, and it's just gonna have to be part of the adventure and part of the story. Now, what I don't have experience in is dust storms and high winds. And I know out in the desert areas, you can hit that sometimes. So hopefully we'll miss that. I'm a nerd and a dork to the hilt. I've got spreadsheets for everything. I have the hours of sun by day, average wind speed, average rainfalls, average highs, average lows, everything mapped out on this trip. That's why I've picked September. And going through all these states, September has the most conducive to motorcycle riding for the entire year. So hopefully I'm picking a peak season to do it in, but even with that, storms are gonna happen. If you turn around, I don't know how well you can see it. There's a heron up above me. About to take off, there he goes. Sounds like a pterodactyl. Where was I? Oh yeah, dust storms and high winds. So that'll be a new experience. I have to find somewhere to lay low. And speaking of laying low during unexpected situations, there is a Facebook community called Bunka-Biker. What it is a community of people who will allow bikers to stay at their house during bad weather, bad times. Just you need a shower, you need a real bed. You contact them and they approve or disapprove your visit. They are not allowed to take money. You can take them gifts like a bottle of wine or some kind of housewarming type of gift. You can do that. While they're not official levels, there's different levels that different hosts will allow you to do. Some will let you pitch your tent in the backyard. Others will let you sleep in the bed. Some will feed you. Some will let you use their showers, and some will let you wash your bike at their house. So there's all different levels of accommodations. But the best thing is if you get into a 3 or 4 day long situation of bad weather, or if your bike breaks down and you're waiting for parts to come in, you can have somewhere possibly to stay. So Bunka-Biker is a nice thing to have in your back pocket if situations get rough. How can I leave home thinking that I have everything that I need for a month-long trip on the road? I don't know, and no one does. You adapt on the fly like you have to. But that's why I'm doing a whole lot of these weekend trips, these one-nighters, two-nighters. That lets me know what I do need and, more importantly, what it is I don't need. Weight and space is a premium on a trip like this, so if I don't need something, I need to get rid of it. What about all those miles on the highway? That's a major concern. I am super, super alert when I'm riding. I pay attention to everything I can in front of, beside, and behind me. That being said, I can't pay attention to everything. I've had 2 accidents in my life on motorcycles. One was my fault, one was not my fault. Both were on a crotch rocket, and both times I was younger. That doesn't mean anything, but as you get older, you get a little wiser and a little smarter, hopefully. One was speed. Me and my buddy were riding. He passed me on a right-hand turn. I thought, no way you're gonna pass me. So on a left-hand turn, I passed him. I went through the turn too fast, went off the road, and had a good wipeout. The other one was not my fault, and that's the one that scares me more than anything. I was going down a road that has cars parked on both sides of the road, and a dog ran out from between 2 parked cars. And I turned my head to the left to look at him, and I didn't realize that a dog was chasing him. And I hit the second dog, and it turned my front handlebar sideways, and I supermaned over the handlebars and went sliding down the road. And I still have scars all down my left-hand side from that one. That's the one that scares me, and that's the thing when I go out riding that scares me the most. I'm in control of me, and sometimes I lose control. We all have road rage, we all have lack of attention, but the worst thing are the things on the road we can't control. Other cars, trucks, grass on the road, gravel on the road, oil, dogs, deer. If I see the side of a car, I know that car has the potential of pulling out from one way or the other in front of me. So I've trained myself to see the side of a car, pay attention to that car. If I see a car in a turning lane in front of me or stopped at an intersection and facing me, I give it my full attention because they can turn in front of you at any point. Even though my bike is big and I have the trailer behind me, I'm still not car shaped. And we are trained to look at car shaped objects when we're driving. So motorcycles often get overlooked even though we're right there in front of them. So we have to drive defensively and pay attention. So does that concern me? Yes, but no more than it does on these weekend trips. The only difference now is I may be 2,000 miles away from home. But if I'm 500 miles away from home, it's not that much different than being 2,000 miles away from home when you're laying on the side of a road. So all I can do is take care of my part and do my best and try to pay attention to everyone else. So the last question is, what's the contingency plan if things go south fast? What if the motorcycle breaks down beyond repair? What if you're 28 days into the trip and you're in Idaho and you've got to get home in 2 days? There's no way I can drive a motorcycle 12 hours a day, but I can drive a truck. So if I have to, I can get a U-Haul, pack the motorcycle and the trailer in the back of the U-Haul and drive home quicker. And that's the contingency plan for a catastrophic failure. But let's hope that doesn't happen. I shared that I'm a huge Evel Knievel fan and I have been for life. If it weren't for him, I wouldn't even be on a motorcycle, much less this trip. When we enter a state that has some Evel Knievel trivia, you're gonna see a Knievel corner and I'll put some trivia in there for you. There's some states that don't have any Evel Knievel trivia, and unfortunately, my home state, Tennessee, has none. He never came here, he never visited here. The only time that I know he visited here was, oh gosh, almost 20 years ago. He visited a Harley dealership here in town and I went to see him. I think he was here 3 days. I went all 3 days and saw him every single time. It was nice to meet your hero, even though I know in real life he wasn't the greatest guy, but from my childhood view, he was a superhero with a cape flying through the air, and that's the way I like to think of him. I think that concludes our therapy session today. It covers a whole lot of stuff that people ask me all the time or things that I haven't covered directly on the channel. If you have any comments or suggestions, comment below and let me know. I'm looking to improve my channel as much as I can, so let me know what you like and what you don't like. Give me some suggestions of places to go. Be nice. Okay guys, if you stuck out that long, you're a true fan and I appreciate it. Thanks for indulging me. I just wanted to cover all these topics. Next time we'll be on the bike, we'll be going further and we'll do something fun. So until then, see you later.
I may be poor, but I'm rich on the road across America.